Welcome to the History Rhymes podcast.
So Caesar does something so epic here. I love that he does this. Because he wants to, like, it's about his brand, but he also is like, I want to be like Alexander. I got to go somewhere new, right?
Yep.
So he crosses over and invades Britain, right? And he's essentially the explorer, the discoverer of Britain.
It's like the
And
Dora the Explorer.
He's Dora the Explorer. He's like, where should we go? I'm the map. I'm the map. As he's just hacking
just
British.
Get the phalanx.
The Pilam.
Go to the back.
What is this called? Pilam. Now he does this twice. He spends two
Yeah.
seasons over there. He doesn't do much, but it's like he does win a battle. It's enough to send, his dispatches back home. And it's like going to the moon. Right? It's like, let's pretend. Let's pretend that human
There's
beings,
one thing I do know about history. It's space history.
and that we've never been to space.
That's right.
No,
and that's where it ends.
No, but you
Go
have to
ahead.
think about it, like getting all the way up there, crossing over the English Channel.
Yeah.
That's space. Like that's like space.
Yeah, that's
and then fighting someone when you
frontier.
get there.
yeah.
So, anyways, it's fantastic. So he does that twice. Meanwhile, things are not so good back in Rome.
Ooh.
So remember how Pompey,
Mm-hmm.
dashing, handsome but
Person.
elderly general,
Yeah.
married Caesar's daughter Julia. Do you remember that from last
Right.
time?
Yeah.
Gorgeous, beautiful.
Julius
great
Julius
face.
Caesar. Her name was actually Julius. We went over
Her name
this.
was Julia.
Julia. He was Julius. That's
Just-
like Steve Jobs naming his daughter Eve Jobs.
I think stevia.
Stevia Jobs.
That's where the sugar comes
Right.
from.
Yes. It's actually not a sugar. It's a sweetener.
The sweetener comes from.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not sugar. Yeah, right.
Whatever, man.
That's right.
We know
The elites are lying to
aspartame's good
us.
for you.
The elites are lying to
Yeah.
us about stevia.
And Diet Coke.
So Julius Caesar's daughter Julia dies.
Mhm.
Pompey loved her. She dies in childbirth.
Oh.
The personal bond.
That is sad. I'm sorry to hear
the personal bond is done.
that. Yep.
Okay,
It's over because she's gone.
Yeah, and
What do they
Pompey's
have
already
together?
been like, I don't really like my father-in-law. He's younger than me. It's confusing.
It's weird.
And he keeps going like, son.
Keeps telling me
uh,
to call him dad.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Marcus Crassus goes to fight and conquer the Parthians. We talked about this last time. He is killed. And he was the guy kind of holding Pompey.
What drives these guys to go and fight? They hear something's going on. They're like, hey, there's a bunch of these guys over here gathering. Let's go take care of that. Like, who's letting them know this stuff? Who's
That's a
patrolling these borders? And what do the people of Rome think? Are they like, we're just killing people?
No, the people of Rome would think,
Or are they like, this is
glory
awesome?
to Rome. This is glory to
Okay.
Rome,
Yeah.
right?
'Cause
And
they're not seeing any of it.
keep
They're
in mind,
just,
in his commentary, Caesar is going to inflate the number of people he's killed in Gaul.
oh,
I think he says he kills about 3 million people. He maybe only killed like 800,000. No, but I can't remember the
Jeez.
exact numbers. But
What a
because
loser.
people are like, whoa,
yeah.
he did that for us. No, I mean that's a great question, and this
For
is where
them, yeah.
this is where history and when we talk about Alexander, we can ask this question too, like what drives a person to do this? It's a bit ridiculous. Marcus Crassus has all this power, all this wealth, but what he doesn't have is military reputation. In fact, he was the one who put down the revolt, the slave revolt of Spartacus,
Right.
and that was his big claim to fame. And even Pompey had come back and kind of ended the battle and kind of stole his glory, but people were like, good for you, you beat a bunch of slaves, even though it
Right.
was a really tough job.
Mm-hmm.
So what motivates a
course.
person who has everything to want more? That's a really good question about human nature. And so this is where history teaches us wisdom, right? It
Mhm.
teaches us about the humanities, right? Humans.
Right. We've
So-
had such a drastic shift in what glory looks like today, right? Like obviously some people are, they love their country dominating the world stage. They want that they see it as stability. But obviously back then it was a point of honor, where now it's like, people have lived in this like good golden age of just history where we have everything we could possibly want.
Comfort.
War doesn't appeal to most people like it did back then.
No, and I think we've done the opposite, where it's whoever's the most victimized is glorified.
Right.
So now take your pick. I don't think either are a good option, where it's like a person who is this powerful general is the, essentially God walking among men.
Mm-hmm.
That's not great, but neither is someone who it's like, well, the best people in the room are the one who've been victimized the most. Right?
When do you think that shift happened? Because obviously, us growing up, even in film, everyone loves a good underdog story. But film, certainly, we saw stuff like, Gladiator, where he was actually a dominant leader and a general. Am I right in his rank?
Maximus Decimus.
He will come up a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously he gets captured and becomes nothing, and then builds his way up through this oppressive, system where he fights his way out to freedom.
I would say it's relatively new. I would say in the last 10 to 15 years, it's pretty new. Like, you even look back during the Iraq War, which had very little justification, if any, and Americans were like, yeah, well, at least we're taking it, right? And there's an element of, like, especially in Americans, of conquest is good. Even with this latest Venezuelan venture, it's like, yeah, well, can we just stop pretending and let's just take the oil or whatever happened there? Like, and there's like, man, all right, I don't think, maybe we shouldn't be overthrowing a foreign leader. It's kind of cool what we did. Like, 20 guys took out like 300 Venezuelan security. Like, it was done. So there is innate in American culture, there's a deep military history there. I mean, it goes back to the Revolution. Like, they fought for their freedom and independence. That's very different from Canada, where we basically petitioned to England, like, can we be in charge of stuff now? And England's like, gosh, are you still there? All right. Blimey, we thought we got rid of you decades ago. And they're like, we're not paying for you. And the king's like, oh, we can be in charge of our fish. And they're like, no.
Sorry.
Right. But so in Canada, I don't think we have this. We have an amazing military past in World War I and World War II. But our identities changed. So I don't know. That's a really good question to go, like, when did it change between, like, military glory and this glory? Like, it's like, no, whoever has faced the most racism, most sexism, most whatever, they're the people that we should prop up and say, you're the hero. Yeah.
I just find it interesting how conquest is such a honorable and just national point of national pride.
But it's also exploration as well.
That's true. Yes.
And for them, they're going, there's almost this kind of...
maybe we've just seen it all, so there's nothing to conquer anymore. And everyone's just like, all right, everybody just hang out here.
Well, we don't conquer anymore.
We don't.
Part of America's problem throughout the Cold War is, fighting in Vietnam, fighting in Korea. These wars of liberation or containment or whatever, they're not conquering. So it's like, sometimes you get lost into, like, what are we fighting for? Whereas the Romans were never like, what are we fighting for? They're like, no, we're fighting for land, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make it better, and then our veterans get to have that land.
Right.
And, by the time of Augustus, we're going to have this Pax Romana. There's going to be a 200-year peace, so we're going to fight for prosperity, and we deserve to conquer the world.
Right. The
craziest thing, and we'll talk about later, is the concept of the strong get to, Aristotle came to this, like, whoever's the strongest gets to rule, will be, like, taken over by this Christian concept of, no, actually, the greatest shall be least, and the first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Right.
So the empire is conquered by, these poor Christians who eventually take over the entire empire. So things are not good.
Okay.
In the Triumvirate. And then in 52 BC, we have a hero emerge in Gaul, Vercingetorix.
Man, these names.
Pretty sick.
Unreal.
So he leads...
Across all of Europe, frankly. Even the German guy. Pretty cool name.
Ariovistus, yeah.
Yeah.
Vercingetorix, he leads a rebellion against Caesar. And Caesar has to, he's like, oh, wow, this guy's actually legit. They battle around, whatever, but they have one famous battle in Alesia. Never been there. It's kind of in, like, central eastern Gaul.
Okay. Is it nice there? Have you heard good things?
It's kind of a big mound now in a field.
That doesn't
I've
sound
heard
nice.
good things. It's hard to get there. No,
like
it looks nice. It looks nice.
Okay.
It's a field.
Sounds
So
to
it
me
was
like
a town, and I always get this wrong. I always forget who's in the town.
Alesia.
Yeah. She sounds beautiful.
Matt Damon was in that movie, wasn't he?
Yeah. Why do the rich people get to be up in the
sky? Yeah.
So
that's a cool idea.
Caesar surrounds Vercingetorix in Alesia, this town.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's besieging it, but he does dual fortifications. Very smart. So he lays a fortification around the city to block Vercingetorix in.
Yeah.
And then he puts another wall around his troops besieging, because he knows there's other Gauls out there. And a force of like 200,000 Gauls shows up. And they're now attacking Caesar's force, who's besieging Vercingetorix. So Caesar's now facing Gauls on both sides. Legend has it, that he sneaks out with kind of a group of cavalry and kind of thing. And the Romans look up on the hill and they see he could always be recognized by his red scarlet cloak, like this long flowing.
Of course,
cape.
yeah, we know that one. It's right here on the Rubicon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like Superman.
Yeah, look at that.
And he charges in, smashes the lines, and the Roman legion does its work, and it just slowly breaks down. Vercingetorix is captured, and this is the end of the Gallic Wars. So now he has to decide, okay, what's he going to do? Because now the Triumvirate has collapsed. Crassus is dead. Pompey's being pulled in deeper to the Optimates, into this Cato and all these other guys. And there's a standoff now. As Caesar's kind of chilling in northern Italy, he cannot go into Italy with his legions. That's illegal.
Why?
So it was called your Imperium. Your control ended at the river Rubicon.
So they're not allowed to go anywhere in there. But that's a...
He would come back as a private citizen.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, come back as a private citizen, but he knows the moment he disbands his legions and heads south, they will bring him to trial.
Oh.
So now we meet this standoff. So now the Senate actually in 49 BC does a Senatus Consultum Ultimatum. They issue an emergency decree ordering Caesar to dismiss his troops.
That's quite the title there.
sick.
Senatus. I'm a word guy,
So
but I
now
don't remember any of them.
Caesar knows that he's either going to be
Sounds
killed.
like a reality TV show back at that.
Welcome to Senatus.
Senatus Ultimatum.
The women are all on an island. Yeah. So Caesar has a choice, right?
Yeah.
He's like, do I go back as a private citizen and they will take me to trial? I will be found guilty because all my enemies are in control of the courts, and then they will kill me or I'll be exiled and my career's over.
Right.
Or do I take my boys south and fight a sick war? So this is where we have a bit of a rhyming situation.
I got my silk robe. Why not?
He's like,
I got these Ku Klux Klan guys with me.
Well, geez, you're going to have to show the camera a bit closer. He's like, Caesar was the founder of the KKK. No, that's crazy. So, so this is where, when I was watching all these indictments towards Trump, right, they did 95.
Yeah.
And this is where I actually started to get a little nervous, all right, for the first time. Not super nervous, a little nervous.
Just a bit. Just a titch.
And where I'm like, if you start to push some, especially an ex-president who has a ton of power, ton of resources, and you start bringing, and he knows, he's like, okay, this system is now bent against me. And I think what we are, they call it lawfare in the States, and it works both sides, right?
Right.
If you push a political figure, you back them into a corner to the point that they would go, the only way I can survive is to overthrow the system. They might just do it. And that's exactly what Caesar is going to do.